Welcome back. I am now very excited to bring you the story of Devin McLane. He's a freshman at Stevensville High School, and his life certainly isn't easy. But despite the cards he was dealt, he powers through life with a giant smile on his face and a never-say-can't attitude.
So when I was in high school, I used to tell my friends that God was going to bless me with a disabled child. I think he just kind of planted that seed early to prepare me.
What Michelle McLane was preparing for was her son Devin, who was diagnosed with a rare condition called arthrogryposis multiplex congenita, which affected the joints in his shoulders, rendering his arms almost useless.
It was sad, it was scary, it was a lot of anxiety, the not knowing. This is a rare condition, there's not much, but I knew in my heart I could handle it.
AMC for short is a prenatal disorder, and in Devin's case, it has left his arms with basically no muscles, which, as you can imagine, made everything more difficult.
So early on, here's your bottle. I mean, I did try to use paper clips and tie his arms. Like I tried everything. And finally, I just realized, I looked at his feet. Him and I were on the ground, and I took his bottle, and I'm like, and I put his feet up, and he grabbed it, and I was like, all right, let's do this.
"14 years later, and Devin could do almost anything with his feet. From cooking, to writing his name, to darts. And he can play the trombone, and video games, and shoot his bow. For Devin, it's never been about can or can't. It's just how." So how much throughout your life you're like, I want to try that, and then you just do it?
I feel like for me, that's almost everything. Yeah. I just have to try and want to do it and figure out how to do it.
It was the daily tasks, the ones we take for granted, that at times frustrated Devin growing up, and his mind would wander and think of the odds, as AMC affects only 1 in every 3,000 people in the U.S. He just happened to be that 0.033%.
Yeah, some days I'll ask myself, like, why did God choose me for this? But then I just got to think, well, he chose me for a reason. God never gives you anything that you can't handle.
Have you snapped a disc before?
No, thankfully. Be very bad if I snapped a disc.
Doctors tell Devin without surgery, as he gets older, his mobility will continue to worsen.
We don't know how much longer Devin has that he's going to be able to walk. So we are living life to the fullest.
Yeah, buddy! That was cool. Here.
Like, he's like, Mom, I'm going to keep walking until I can't walk anymore. So,
So while he still can, Devin decided he wanted to challenge himself once more.
I got those perfectly.
But this time even farther. And after hearing an announcement at school for tryouts, he decided he wanted to wrestle.
And I was like, that actually sounds really fun. So then that day I went to my mom. I was like, hey, Mom, can I join wrestling? And she just kind of looked at me. She's like, sure.
my initial thought, was it's never no, it's just, okay.
Thirsty?
No.
It's never really see if this is possible. It's always, how are we going to do this?
And as far as the how, that was up to Stevensville head wrestling coach Ted Adams.
We were like, well, I'm not quite sure what I'll know to teach you, but we're going to wing it and see what happens. If a kid just has that desire, man, that's half the battle.
So if you're coming back and rolling out the way, yeah, they're still going to have to pursue you.
So Devin and his coach hit the mats, trying to solve the puzzle of wrestling without using your arms.
You with blocking out with your head.
Yeah, just block out with.
So you're going to have to catch them as they're coming by here and block, and then that brings you right to your feet.
After working on his escape and all his other moves at practice, it would be time for Devin's first match, one he says he will never forget.
I remember I was super nervous and was hoping that I could do it, and last a long time. And I just went out there and gave it my all. I lasted the full 2 minutes, I think it is. And I lasted the whole time, and I didn't get pinned. And then I was super excited afterwards. My whole team came up and congratulated me, and my coach did.
The sense of accomplishment is huge for Devin, but being a part of the team and the camaraderie is irreplaceable. Coach Adams says he'll never forget the first time they stopped to get food after a match, and they all saw how Devin ate with his feet for the first time.
And I just leaned over and I was trying to give him a little moment of levity. I said, look, if anybody gives you crap about this, we're going to say you were raised by wolves and that's just how you eat. And he laughed. He thought that was awesome. He's like, all right, I'm part of the crew now. You know, and he is. He's part of the team, and that's awesome.
And he's a valuable member as well. Oftentimes, Steve I would have to forfeit the 103-pound weight class, which would be an automatic 6 points for the other team. So as long as Devin doesn't get pinned, he's saving points.
And you trot Devin out there and the kids are thinking, okay, he's basically going to get kind of pounded on. Well, this kid was trying to pin him so he could get the same as what a forfeit would be. And he fought the entire time and never gave up the pen. And so we've been basically harping on this with our kids. Hey, look, we're suffering from too many pins. And then when they see him struggle and fight to the bitter end and never get pinned, you can't even turn to your kids and say, do you see that effort?
It's the daily effort and patience, taking off a shirt, slipping on his socks, and getting the cotton stuck in his braces that gives Devin a never-quit attitude. His opponents may beat him physically, but they don't stand a chance mentally.
So it takes a lot more effort, but in your mind you just got to think, he's not going to beat me. And as long as you just keep thinking that and think he's not going to pin you, he's not going to pin you.
Roll, buddy, roll! Good job, Devin.
You know, he's not going to win a state title, but he is just an amazing kid who changes lives through the example that he sets. And you look at that and you just sort of point to him and say, watch, right? And hopefully that's the kind of inspiration that I know it is to other kids. And for him too. And that he'll look back on this and come back and see us in years and say, hey, here's Devin coming back to see how the room is doing. Because he's a part of it, and he is.
While Devin has inspired those around him, wrestling has inspired him.
I've learned that I'm a lot stronger than I think I am, and I can overcome any obstacle if I just put my mind to it and do it.
Devin and his mom hold an Albert Einstein quote close to their heart, which says, "Most people see what is and never see what can be." Well, Devin, I think you've shown us all what you can be. It's been a pleasure getting to meet Devin, and I know he's watching now, and I got to say, happy birthday. He turned 15 years old today. So.